everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Talk of the Town. I'm here with you this week with two people that have never been on the show before. And so we're going to swing the camera around and introduce you to some folks that I know you're going to be excited about hearing some things from, because I'm excited about what I've been talking with them about. So let's do it. Ladies first. We'll go right here. This is Miss Mandy Marburger, and right beside her is Mr. Jeff Marburger, and they are co-founders of One More, One Less project right here in Cleveland County. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
We're so glad to have you.
Thanks so much.
And I've enjoyed talking with you, so I know that the folks out there are really going to enjoy hearing what you've got to say. So who wants to start off and tell us all about the One More, One Less project?
I'll start off, Steve.
All right, Jeff.
Thank you so much for having us on the show today. It's an absolute privilege to be involved with One More, One Less project. It was something that was just started from kind of our life experience with foster care and adoption. My wife and I have 6 kids. 4 of them are adopted. One of them is a biological child, and one of them is in the process of being adopted right now from 14, and then we have a 4-month-old. So started over there a little bit. But so that's how One More, One Less project started, just through our experience with the foster care system and seeing how churches around North Carolina could really impact the foster care world, and how moving kids from these heartbreaking situations into situations where there's hope and future. That's kind of why we named it One More, One Less project. One more child with a parent that looks after them is one less child without a hope and a future. And so that's how it started, and we started it about 6 years ago. It's been fun to see it evolve and see the different things that we've been able to be involved with through the organization.
That's awesome. So when you say the project got started, how does this work? Because I know I personally know a family that's gotten hooked up with you guys and so forth. How does this work? How does the project work?
And let me, I'll talk about a couple arms, and then I'll let Mandy talk about the one that you're speaking of. But our main objective is to really engage the church across North Carolina with foster care and adoption. So we found that a lot of people hesitate to move towards foster care and adoption, not because they don't care, but because they're uninformed and sometimes uninspired, and then don't know how to get involved. Right. And so those are kind of the hurdles that we've experienced and we've seen that we try to remove through working with local churches all across the state. Our goal, our mission is to have 2 champion churches in every county in North Carolina. And so there's 100 counties. And so to be able to have 2 champion churches that we work closely with, that can really just help continuously cultivate a culture of foster care and adoption. And then here in Cleveland County, it's obviously our home, and so this is where we're based out of, and so there's some different arms that we have with it. And so I'll let Mandy share the vision and the heart of Not Far From Home.
Yeah, so we were just really starting to see, the more that we were involved in the ministry, we were just growing in our own knowledge of different needs that were within our own community. And one of those was the hurdle that teens have when they are aging out of foster care. They either don't have anywhere to go, or they end up going back into the same situations that they were removed from. And so we really wanted to provide a house, a place where teens could move in and be really discipled for a year, learning how to get a job, learning how to provide for themselves and not have to rely on government or family financially. They go through financial peace. So just a lot of tools that we are able to provide them that will help them be set up for success. And then we also use that home for birth moms who are looking to reunify with their children in foster care. And it's been really cool just to be able to walk alongside birth moms and teens, and we've had some good experiences and we've had some bad experiences, but it's been really cool to be able to just see what God can do through that.
Yeah, and I'm sure it has been a mix of both, because you know it always will be. You know, when you're working with individuals and you're trying to bring them along. So I'm sure you've had some real joys and some tears that have come along with it too, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
One thing we like to say is just that obedience isn't contingent on outcomes. And that's a huge thing for us in our ministry, because there are just people that want the housing and don't really want to change.
Right.
And so that's one thing that we've really navigated as a staff and as a organization, that hey, our obedience to what we've been called to isn't contingent on the outcomes of these birth moms and aged out teens,
Right.
and even some that have experienced homelessness. So.
So I know. So you mentioned you've got these. How long have you guys been doing this? Was it 6 years?
One More, One Less project we've been doing for 6 years. Not Far From Home came about
During
what?
COVID.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
when all the churches shut down and we couldn't
Sure.
really work with local churches, the Lord just gave us that vision to really help meet a need locally here in Cleveland County.
That's awesome. So now I know that because of this, you guys have come today. You've got a lot of this, of course, takes money, and
Yeah.
so you do some fundraising. And I know one of the events that you've got coming up is one of your largest fundraisers. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the One Golf Tournament is something that has really evolved, and just like anything, you know, it's growing and adapting to what we really desire for it to be. And so the One Golf Tournament, this is our 6th one. We started in 2019, and it's been really cool to see just how it grows, because it is, like you said, it's a large portion of our budget for the year is raised in this golf tournament, and we have so many great sponsors and people that come out and participate in the day, and it's usually a great day to where there's a lot of fellowship, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot of laughter, and then most importantly, why we've called it the One, is that we really try to highlight one story from Cleveland County to where the churches that are engaged and involved in this ministry of foster care and adoption, we highlight a story from each of those. And so the past couple of years, we've had one of the birth moms that was reunified. That was the story, I believe it was 2 years ago. And she was reunified with her 8-year-old, had never had her before. And so it was really just encouraging to hear that Not Far From Home impacted a family to where this cycle of foster care and adoption isn't, Lord willing, isn't going to be repeated. To where a girl was in foster care and then aged out, had a child, and then lost her child, but then was able to be reunified with her. So it's a beautiful story. We highlighted that one. And then, go ahead.
And our vision is to inform, inspire, and intertwine the local church with foster care, reunification, and adoption. And so when we talk about the One Golf Tournament, we're highlighting either foster care, a celebration story about foster care, a celebration story about reunification, or a celebration story about adoption. So it's one of those three that is being highlighted through the golf tournament.
And so we create little booklets, and it's been cool to see how it's progressed each year to where we have another story this year of just families in local churches here in Cleveland County that have done this. And that's kind of one of our mantras, is that people like us do things like this to where it's really an impactful thing. Like, that's my heart for all of our kids that have been adopted and our biological kids, is what is going to outlive you. What's the legacy that you're going to leave behind? And we believe with all of our hearts that this is something that is creating a legacy for people as they walk in. And it's so cool, because I think a lot of times people think, oh, if I become a foster parent, I'm going to do that for the child. And it couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. Like, our experience is, yes, it's hard, it's difficult. There's different times when there's emotional baggage and different things like that comes into your home that makes it difficult. But at the end of the day, the foster parents and the adoptive parents receive just as much blessing as the child does. And so that's the message we really try to convey to churches and people alike, is that, hey, foster care and adoption is an opportunity. It's not an obligation, and it's an opportunity. I think that's what a lot of people, there's a disconnect that we really want to convey it as an opportunity, not an obligation.
Right, and that's pretty awesome. So really, a lot of what you do is try to involve the congregations and then the churches, just and inform them and get rid of some misconceptions about some of this process that they may have, so that hopefully we can get more, because I know that the need has to be great for foster care and for adoption in our county.
It is, and there's 220 kids in undercare and foster care right now in Cleveland County, 11,000 across North Carolina.
Wow.
That are, the state stepped in and deemed that it's an unsafe situation for these kids. And so, this golf tournament is just simply a way to allow us to continue to do the work and at the same time celebrating the work that's been done. So if you'd like to be a part of it, we would absolutely love that. There's sponsorship opportunities. That's how we really, the golfers, it's an incredible time, but the sponsorships and businesses that step in to be a part of that day are really how we...
So you need business sponsors. You need
Yep.
those to help sponsor portions of the golf tournament, as well as folks to actually participate.
Correct.
And now's the time.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening today and they're thinking, "Wow, I'd like to be a part of this," they should jump on board
Yeah.
because things are filling up fast, aren't they?
And I always want to mention this because not everybody's a golfer. I'm not a golfer. So if you don't play golf, you can still be a part. You can help us volunteer, or you can just help by donating to make it happen. So.
Absolutely. And Steve, because we have been doing it for 6 years now, there's players that have played in it all 6 years, and it's it has filled up really fast. Like we go off of our previous year's list and just kind of hit those people first. So there's limited spots to sign up, but we do have 2 flights. One will be in the morning at 8:30 at Deerbrook Golf Course. Registration's at 8 o'clock. And then the PM flight starts at 1:30, but the registration's at 12:30 with lunch provided for both flights. And so we're looking forward to the day. I hope it's good weather.
Right, and if others want to participate, they should reach out
Yes.
and contact you guys quickly, so that they can also be a part of this event. So,
Absolutely.
So to do that, to get in touch with you and get more information, how would they do that?
You can email us at onemore1lessproject@gmail.com.
Yeah. Or there's a registration link on our website that is onemore1lessproject.com. And so you can scroll down there and see the different details. I believe we have a little flyer that's going to be shown as well, so that you can see some of the details.
And if other churches have listened to this, or other individuals that have felt moved to, they also can contact you with that and get more information and participate in whatever way they've been led as well, right?
Absolutely.
and
We
that's-
would love that.
That's the heart.
Well, personally, I want to thank you guys for what you're doing, and you're making a real difference, and it's very impactful. I know it is already because I can see your heart for it, and it's fabulous and wonderful that you guys are doing this, and I know that there are many children that are being blessed because of it. So thank you, and also. You have to, if you didn't read the fine print in your contract, once you come and sit in the red chairs, you have to agree to come back.
Okay.
So we have to have you back on the show at some point in the future.
There you go.
Absolutely.
We'd be
Thank
honored
you so
to.
much for having
Well, it's a
us.
pleasure for having you here for the first part of our show. And it's a pleasure having you here for the first part of our show, too. But we're not done with you yet, so you can't leave. So if you're hungry and you go to the fridge or you run some other errand, you have to come back because there's more talk of the town right after this.
Hi, I'm Shara Miller, the host of Artworks. Each month we bring to you wonderful, talented artists from here in Cleveland County and the region. We have artists, we have potters, we have painters, we have musicians, we have actors. We just have wonderful artists that come to you and tell you about all that they're doing, their creativity, what inspires them. Join me here on Artworks each month on C19. You can also watch us online at c19.tv.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm still sitting right where you left me. I'm glad you made it back, and I'm glad our next guest made it here. So we're going to swing the camera around and introduce you guys to somebody we've had on the show before. This is Miss Caitlin McNeely, and she is the Community Engagement Manager for Uptown Shelby Association. And you're right, that's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. It's a mouthful. Yeah.
That means
but
you're a
don't forget
very
it.
important person, though.
I tell myself that.
Well, keep doing it. It works. It works
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. Glad to have you with us
Yeah,
today.
it's great to be back. It's great to be back. We've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up, and are looking forward to a good year this year.
Now, I know that I know what the Uptown Shelby Association is, but there may be some people that are going, what? What is the Uptown Shelby? So tell us about the Uptown Shelby
that's
Association.
a great question. So we are, in a lot of ways, I think the city's best kept secret. We are a nonprofit organization. We work really closely with the city, but we aren't a part of the city, so totally separate. We mostly get our funding through what is called the MSD, which is the Municipal Service District. There's a tax in a certain little footprint, which is the Uptown Shelby District. And property owners pay a little bit additional tax on those buildings, and then the city collects those funds and disperses some of it to us. Some of it stays with the city for other like projects and things. But that's where we get part of our funding. The rest of it comes through sponsorships and donations, and we work as a national Main Street organization. We are chartered through the national organization and the state of North Carolina. And our job is primarily economic vitality, but the real goal is just to say Uptown Shelby is a great place for visitors and for locals. Bring your kids, bring your families. It's a place where we want to have fun, spend time together, and just enjoy our community and what it all has to offer.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So you have a fun job.
it's a lot of fun. I love it. Yeah, yeah. It keeps me busy too.
Now, I know that we just came through Christmas, and every year you're very heavily involved in Christmas, and this year I assume Christmas was very successful for you.
Yeah, we had a great Christmas this year. We mixed things up a little bit. Normally, we have the parade pretty much as close to Christmas as you can have it, and that is fun in a lot of ways, but it also can be kind of a challenge for the staff and for our volunteers. So this year we had what we called our Christmas kickoff weekend, and that started with Shop Small Saturday. So that Saturday after Thanksgiving is always one of the biggest shopping days of the year for small businesses. It's been going around for I think 20 plus years now. It's huge for us in Uptown Shelby, so we always work to try to promote that with our businesses. And we thought, how can we take the momentum of that and keep that going throughout that weekend and into the Christmas season? So now on Shop Small Saturday, we have a special vendor pop-up where we have local vendors. Of course, our stores and restaurants are open. A lot of them have specials, new items, and we have our Christmas tree lighting now on that Saturday. And then the following Sunday, we have the Christmas parade. So we've moved it up about 3 weeks earlier than normal. And I'll be honest with you, it's been a game changer, at least on the planning side, the volunteer side. It gives us honestly access to a bigger pool of volunteers. So many people are traveling for Christmas. We have college students sometimes who will come and help us. And so to have it earlier in the year when they're still on campus, still in town, is great. We have just gives us a little bit more, I think, control a little bit over it, because we can get it done, get it planned, and then spend the rest of our December focusing on our Christmas on the Court Square, where we have our carriage rides, events for kids, and things like that. So we have loved it. The community seemed really receptive to it. We had a great turnout for both our Shop Small Saturday and tree lighting and for the parade this year. And we appreciate the community being flexible with us as we, move things around, change things up. And it's been great. We hope to do the same thing again this year. Hope to make Shop Small Saturday even bigger and more exciting. So
Awesome.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Sounds like it worked really well. Now, I know that secondly from that, summer and spring, when the weather turns nice, you're very busy as well.
We do. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I know you've got some things coming up that you want to tell us about that's going to be happening in the next few weeks. So let's just jump right in.
Yeah,
Tell us
for
all
sure.
about it.
For sure. So we get a couple of months, I don't want to say off because we're still working, but where we get to sort of hole up at our offices and do a lot of the administrative and planning stuff. But we're really excited. The Uptown Block Party is coming back next month. It'll be on May 24th. And the Uptown Block Party for us is really focused on the community. It's a family-friendly event. We are going to have 3 bands on that Saturday. We're going to kick off around 12:30. DJ Captain Ron Teague, who works with the local radio station, he has a morning beach radio show, which is amazing. And he is working with us on this. He's going to be our DJ and kind of host the event for us. And we'll have 3 bands. We have the Ace Party Band Trio, Too Much Sylvia, and the Tones are going to play. And we're going to have music go in until 8:30 that night. There'll be a kids zone. We're looking to have some inflatables, some really fun little games, street games, events for kids. There may be a special character or 2 walking around, maybe a mascot that you might recognize. And for us, it's just a way to say, like, hey, community, you can have fun in Uptown Shelby. It's about to get really hot, but come join us on Washington Street. Let's listen to some music. Our restaurants are going to be open. The social district will be in full swing. So if you want to have an ice cold beer, glass of wine, you can grab that at one of our participating restaurants or bars. Bring it back up to the street. A lot of folks will bring their lawn chairs, picnic blankets, hang out on the square, and just bring your kiddos and bring your friends and have a good time. We're really excited. It's a little bit casual, kind of low key, little beachy, little summery, but just something to really kick summer off on the right foot and let everybody have a little fun together.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope so.
So now, is this something? How many? You've done this before?
We've done this before. We had done it. We've tried to do it twice before. We've done it once before. We had. It's been a little funny. Our very first year, we had. I want to say a rain delay. We had to move it out a week for rain.
Right.
Our second year, which would have been last year, we ended up canceling it. I'm trying to remember the exact day. You guys may remember this. It was the same weekend that the Cheerwine Festival, I believe, was happening in Statesville, and the Bigfoot Festival in Marion was happening. And there was this big weather storm system coming through. We are like on the phone with the Greenville office for the National Weather Service, and we're like, what is your recommendation? What should we do? We're talking to our friends in Statesville, we're talking to our friends in Marion, and basically the consensus ends up being if you're west of like Interstate 85, then it's going to be rainy, and if you're east of it, it's probably going to be okay. And there was just we couldn't get like a good solid answer. So we, at the 11th hour, called it. We said, you know what, we're canceling it. We'd talked to bands, talked to sponsors, and the feeling was just, we don't want to put all this into something, bring all this equipment out, and it does rain. So listen to the bands, listen to the sponsors, and then that Saturday probably was like the pick day of May last year. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful.
I do remember that.
Yes.
Bless your
And we hear the comments, we see the Facebook comments, and like, yes, we have learned our lesson. It's so tricky, I think, to do events this time of year. The weather gets so unpredictable. And it's funny because the other thing that we had heard with our Shelby Live concerts was that it was really hot. People just didn't want to come out because it's hot, it's muggy. Some days it would be a little rainy, and then it would just be humid in the afternoon. And our attendance had gotten really low. So we were losing money on producing Shelby Live, and we're looking at ways to do something bigger, maybe a one-time thing. And so to have all of that planned and then have to, at the end of it, say, no, okay, we're not going to do it this year. And then to wake up the next day and it's like, oh, the sun is shining, the birds are singing. And we're like, oh, okay, that wasn't good.
So we need to pray for good weather this year.
Yes, the anti-rain dance, if you have one, please do it for us. But May 24th for the Uptown Block Party, we're really excited. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And it's doggone it, it's going to happen. That's what we're saying.
Well, do you guys have a rain date in case it goes
We
does
don't
go kafooey?
have we don't have anything official. May is a busy month, and I guess it's always like this. We are really excited. The Airstream event, Shining in Shelby, is going to come back. So our friend Roger Holland, a lot of folks know him from Holland Architecture or from Newgrass Brewing. He is just a great champion for this event, and he works with the Airstreamers and brings them into Shelby. So we're going to have them that, I believe it's the first weekend in Shelby, maybe the second. I need to look at my calendar, but they're coming in early May. And we have, of course, Mother's Day. We have high school and college graduations. Gardner Webb graduates early one weekend in May. CCC, I believe, is graduating a little bit later in May. And then the high school's Memorial Day weekend. So we had a lot of like, where can this go? Where can this fit? So the 24th is the Saturday before Memorial Day. We're hoping it'll be a nice way. So many people stay local, go to the lake. So we're hoping to say, hey, it is fun. It's summer. Put your tank top on, grab your lawn chair, come out, sit with us, listen to some good music. Yeah.
In good weather.
In good weather.
In good
That's
weather.
right.
That's
Beautiful
right.
weather.
Beautiful weather this year. That's what we're going to hope for.
Yeah.
Anti-rain dance. We'll work
Yes.
on that. So, all right. Now, before we get too far away from this, I know we had talked a bit before we started the actual tape here. That Shelby's got several new businesses.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So I want to make sure you have an opportunity to tell us all about those.
Definitely. That is, of course, like I said, economic vitality is a big part of what we do. And we want to tell people Uptown Shelby is a vibrant and fun place, but if you come uptown and there aren't any businesses open or restaurants open, then it doesn't feel as fun and vibrant. So Uptown Shelby continues to grow. We have several new places that are open or about to open. Next Level Games is a really great video game. They have some like sort of gaming adjacent toys, items, definitely used stuff, some new stuff, really great prices, super, super nice folks. They're down on Lafayette Street. And just a couple doors up from them, we have a new women's clothing boutique called Glow. They moved into Uptown from Boiling Springs, and we're really excited. They've got a little bit bigger space, and they also have a few, I know, candles made by local people and some other local items in there. A new wine bar called STEM is opening. They are currently open right now and are in the process, at least as of the filming of this, getting their ABC permit so they can start pouring wine. By the time this airs, it'll probably be up and ready to go, but definitely check in with them. But right now they have an amazing mocktail menu, and I think that's awesome because, one, you obviously don't have to be of age to enjoy a mocktail, but I think it's also a great way for people who prefer to abstain or who aren't old enough to drink. You can still have something fun, tasty, enjoy yourself, and not have to feel that pressure to drink alcohol if
And
you
they're
don't
going to
want
have
to.
desserts.
They do have desserts. They do have desserts. So if you're familiar with Phyllis Sweet Shop, which is a bakery in Uptown, one of the owners of STEM is Reggie Feaster from Phyllis Sweet Shop. So they are going to have some of those amazing, amazing desserts in there. And I already heard there's a pecan pie that has my name on it waiting for me there.
Not if I
cannot
get
wait.
there first.
Oh,
Not
I'll fight
if
you
I get
for it.
there. Yeah, we actually stumbled across them during one of their soft opening
Yes,
nights.
yeah.
And they're in the old Double E Brewing.
That's exactly right.
location,
Yeah, so they're
across
on
from Pueblitos.
West Warren Street.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know we talked to them and they were kind enough to take us around and show us what they were doing.
Yes.
It's really awesome.
It's really cool. They've done a lot of work in that space and kind of redone the layout a little bit. So they have an event space and just lots of really neat things coming up. The things that you would kind of expect to have, but then some unexpected stuff. I know they've had jazz performances and are looking at, bringing like a sort of small group motivational speaker kind of self-care type classes, and then bring
Right.
your friends, bring your book club. It's a really neat little spot. So
It's awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, go on. Didn't mean to stop you. I just
you're all
we
good.
took a detour.
You're all good. We have one more business that's North Lafayette Street that is going to be opening really soon, and that is Screen Door Diaries. Some folks may be familiar. I know she's done several weddings and special events. She does kind of like the design and floral arrangements and things. So she's going to have an actual brick and mortar shop. And we're excited. She's already had some really special pop-up events at Valentine's Day. She had a build your own bouquet just right outside on the sidewalk. Cutest thing in the world I've ever seen. All these little flowers. She'd help you arrange them. And you just paid per stem for whatever you wanted. And can't wait to see what her space is going to look like. But we've heard some really exciting things from her and really, really look forward to her bringing that spot, especially to North Lafayette, where we have still several shops and businesses, but we don't always see the foot traffic up there. So anytime a business opens in that direction, we get excited because the more businesses you have in a place, the more pedestrian traffic that brings to that part of town. And Uptown Shelby is not a big footprint. It's probably a little less than a quarter mile from one corner to the other. But you can kind of see, you may have even noticed it walking around, that people will sort of congregate in one spot around the restaurants, around bars and things like that. But there's so much more to see. So we're always looking for ways to move people throughout the district to make sure that they see what all we have, see what's going on, and say hello to these amazing stores.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's just great. Now, if people want information about any of the things that we've talked about, where could they get that?
You can go to uptownshelby.com. That is our website, mobile friendly, desktop friendly. We have a ton of stuff there. And as always, follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at Uptown Shelby on both of those. And if you have any questions about anything, just reach out to us directly. Our email address is info@uptownshelby.com, or you can give us a call.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on our show today.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
It's awesome. And thank you for being here today, too, because we don't have a show if you don't watch the show. So we're really thankful and grateful that you do that. And we're also really thankful and grateful for story ideas. So if you look right here on the bottom of the screen, info@c19.tv is how you can get those story ideas to us so that we can get those people in these chairs. But until then, this is Steve Putnam signing off saying have a great week.